Hi, my name's Rebecca. I'm a lesbian. And y'all know this, my family is fine with my orientation. If only I could tell them I'm a lawyer. And I just want you to know one other thing about me. I kissed a girl and I liked it long before it was cool in a song. And the girl I like kissing most is right there. You too, Marty. I would have worn my Liza Minnelli hat and heels, but dang it, I just loaned those or I left them in the car or something. So if you see them, bring them up to me, will you? But I'm here tonight in a special capacity as a member of the board for the Dallas Way. The Dallas Way, as probably most of you know, is our new organization in Dallas. Yoo-hoo! And our job is to collect, store, and share the history of the LGBT community in Dallas. And this is our first kind of soft event so that y'all can get familiar with us. And it's a great format. It's an outrageous oral history. So I think you'll really enjoy this stroll down memory lane as we hear from some of the icons in our community who will come up here and share with you their stories and their history of Dallas. But before I go too far, let me tell you a little bit more about the Dallas Way and our founding visionaries, Jack Evans and George Harris. Yay! You know that there have been gays and lesbians, bisexuals, and transgenders from as far back as humankind has been in existence. I mean, don't you remember, did you go to the Natural History Museum and they had those little pictorial settings of the Cro-Magnon people? That cave with the 2 men in it? The best dressed, best decorated cave? Okay, they were gay. That was Adam and Steve. But in any event, the history here in Dallas has been a long and storied one, and we are fortunate that Jack and George have been here to live most of it, create a lot of it, and share their stories with us. And we, following in their footsteps, of course, have added to and tried to hold up the sky as well. But unfortunately, Jack has pneumonia. He's recovering from it. He's much better, but he's still in the hospital. And George, as you can imagine, has been exhausted being up there tending to him. I mean, when you've been around and sleeping with the same man for 51 years, I guess it's habit. So unfortunately, Jack won't be here, and George, who was going to be one of our speakers, is not going to be able to present tonight. But we're going to make do. In fact, we've got a great pinch hitter, if you don't mind the softball analogy for some of the lesbians in the room. So substituting on the roster will be Don Mason. And you should have a little addition to the roster. You'll see right there. We'll tell you a little bit more about Don. And so before we get too much farther, I think it's important to recognize the people who have been so important in putting this organization together and putting this event together. So to start with our event, I want to give particular mention Bruce Monroe, who you'll hear from later, Buddy Molyneux, who was also supposed to be here, and he had some kind of health issue that took him out of the game, and Mike Grossman, who I saw come in, and his partner is hospitalized, and just I'm so thankful to all of you for being here, even under those extenuating circumstances. So thank you for producing this event. And I also want to thank the Dallas Way board members. We are a new 501c3. Thank you, Mike Anglin. I would like to introduce you to the Dallas Way board members. If you're here, I'd like you to stand. So let's see, do we have, is Carl here, Carl Parker? Carl's in the back. Mike Anglin, our legal eagle. Steve Atkinson, I saw Steve. Where's Steve? Thank you, Steve. Robert Emery. Buddy Molyneux, I mentioned to you, won't be able to come here. Bruce Monroe, we know, we're going to hear more from in a few minutes. Evie Pridgeon, Evelou Pridgeon, are you here? There she is in the back. Thank you, Evie. Stan Ayton, are you here? There's Stan. Jay Fort. Jay, right there. Dennis Coleman, I don't think he came up from Austin. Is Dennis here? And then Ann Fay, I didn't see Ann. Is Ann here? And then yours truly. I'm honored to be with this group of people. They are, in their own rights, all leaders in our community, and we really owe them a round of applause. Thank you so much. So let's start. You'll see on your program who's going to be our speakers. There's a brief bio on the back, but let me just highlight it by telling you that this event is being underwritten by, of course, Sue Ellen's, the Dallas Tavern Guild, and the UPS store at 4848 Lemon. So we need to support our sponsors and underwriters, and then a lot of you have generously supported this event as well with your 501c3 charitable contribution gifts, and I appreciate that, and your names that were here before we printed the program are also listed on the back, so thank you very much for that. And so we'll hear without interruption some of the following speakers. We'll start with Michael Doman. He's been a pillar in our community for over 30 years, serving many organizations, and he'll kick off the storytelling. And then one after another, we'll also hear from Monica. I just saw Monica Green came in. Thank you, Monica. She's an iconic restaurateur, a business owner. She's transformed both Dallas and herself over the last 40 years. I know we're all excited to hear what Monica has to share. And then a last-minute substitution for George. I guess we're going to have to wait to hear if that rumor is true. I think it is true. He came to Dallas in a covered wagon with John Neely Bryan. He'll have to dispute that at the next event, which incidentally should be listed on here. It's September 13th. So we'll hear from Don Mason, a fabulous attorney who put his law degree to good use, dispensing justice and righting wrongs. We also get to hear from Penny Crispin. Penny Pickle Crispin, I saw her, she's here. Someone with a lot of courage, a brave heart, and has done a lot of compassionate work in our community. And then Lori Masters. Y'all have heard the phrase, you know, before you kick off an event to break a leg? Well, apparently she did that literally. She stepped off a ladder or a stool and is at the hospital getting x-rays, so we'll hear from Lori next time, I promise. And then Bruce Monroe, our board member, will also give us his remarks before we close. So, fell off her Harley? She wouldn't fall off a Harley. That she knows how to ride. Okay, I'd like to go ahead and have Michael come up and start our oral history, please, and please give Michael Doman a great round.